Good evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard for October 20th, 2022. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Do we have any public comment that is not on the agenda?
Nobody's really complaining. The only thing I will say, and I brought it up to a lot of people, every year everybody does a New Year resolution. Why don't you do a New Year's resolution and put money into your taxes every month and start out the year right.
There you go.
That's my New Year's resolution. Start the New Year's, take an envelope, put the money in, or bring it into the country. Start the New Year's off right.
See, I made a resolution to start buying my Halloween candy for the trunk or treat.
Yeah. So think ahead, and really nobody's really complaining. They are happy with the money that you got for the airport. I've heard a lot of positive on that. Otherwise than that, it's been pretty quiet.
We like quiet, we
That's
like
good.
no drama.
Quite good.
I'm not giving you a rough time, guys, I promise.
Okay, any other public comments? Okay, we'll move right on to the grant application for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. So hopefully you've all seen this public notice. Yep, okay. Heidi's got it up as well.
So, the rec department is interested in applying for a grant through V-Trans specific to use of the improvements along the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. It's a very light copy. Hopefully you can see that. So Ty's here. We're gonna go through this. The rec department would like to have a pavilion. And you can see the arena is here and the rail trail is this right away right through here. And this is the Gore Road. So this little black square over here is the proposed pavilion with a bike shed attached to it, and there will be a bike repair station, a kiosk, and electricity. Anything else, Ty?
Couple picnic tables and a
Um,
park bench.
So this is the proposed 13 by 40 foot structure.
Yeah,
And bathrooms?
porta-lot. Enclosed porta-lot. Reason being, we want usage in the building. And if we can put some hours on the kiosk sign of when the building's open, hopefully we have somebody running a snack bar in the non-winter months that they can come in, get a lunch, use our facilities. And that.
The other advantage that the grant folks pointed out is that if you have a restroom, you're responsible for maintaining it, but if you have a porta-lat, they come clean it for you and kind of reduces your commitment to it.
The only thing I'd say is yes, we'd want it enclosed somehow so that we don't have the damage that we've suffered.
Maybe some
Lately.
bollards or something around it, so
Like lattice, enclosed lattice.
just something where they're
Yeah.
There's a line showing an electric connection from the arena to the pavilion. And there may be an easier way to do that. Ty was chatting about maybe figuring out a solar fix that wouldn't require that. Those are things we could dig into once we get the funding. If we get the funding, it's design and construction. Additionally, they would, formalize this parking area here that has been used, but it's not part of the parking lot. So they would pave that, make it additional parking, perhaps with trailer parking. Seems like there is some traffic that comes through with trailers. And that's about the crux of it. So there is an estimate in the packet as well that is shocking. It is high, but it includes everything from design all the way through to completion. And the final number is escalated out for 2026. So there are a few variables in there. They've put in a large amount for municipal project manager, so that would be not really something we'd have to spend on. And if we're able to accomplish it in 2024, there's a difference there of 30,000. So the estimate is high intentionally. But there is a 20% match with the grant, so the rec department would have to be, that would have to be something they would want to commit to.
Now, does the state, is this the first of its kind for the Lamoille? I think that's awesome. Give great parking.
You could build a house for that.
Yes.
That is true.
Everything costs more for federal, state, and town money.
That's ridiculous.
It's
That's
crazy.
Where Money Day as a board, we were saying the same.
That's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous, the numbers cost.
Do we get any other engineering bids or just this one?
Just,
Or estimate?
And this isn't a bid from a firm, this is just Tyler Billingsley, who works for us on different road projects, just agreed to give us an estimate. So they're using AOT guideline numbers to come up with that. And like the engineering is just a flat percentage of the total amount. It's kind of the way we typically figure things out. It is a big, it's a big dollar value. But currently the rec department has bicycles in the loading room because they don't have any place to store them.
Right.
It is considered to be an economic development project as well as, you know, a recreational project, because what you're doing is encouraging riders on the trail to visit your town. So also important to the project is connectivity down to the businesses. And so that's definitely something we would like to look at as well. So this image is the outline of the parcel known as the Village Core Master Plan. And you can see it's just a hop and a skip below the school, which is just below the arena. And this is the town's designated village. So the arena is just right here. Here's your site for your pavilion. And it's just a, you know, an easy walk or ride down to the village where they can access any one of those businesses, the general store for lunch, the hardware store for a tire tube or anything they might need on the trail. Hopefully we will have a place to eat or get a drink at some point in that area. So there would need to be a letter of support for this design and construction phase if you wish to go forward. There is also another part of this that we had considered, that is important to this project as well, is continuing the work on the path. You can see the blue area is a gap in our walking path. There's a beautiful path around the arena and then around the school, but it dumps you into the parking lot without being able to know which way you're going. So all the more important when guests will be coming into town for them to be able to find their way down to the village stores. So we had talked about applying for a scoping study with that, but we found a different grant instead. I put a copy of the flyer on there. It's also through V-Trans, but it's connected with the Safe Routes to School program, and it's exactly what they do, and there's no match. So we would much prefer to do that over going with the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail grant. And it might be a little less complicated that way.
Yeah, for that section.
Yes, just for the improvement on the path to get folks good access down to the village center.
Connect to the one crosswalk we had at all.
Well, it would take you down to the village core property, and when the village core property is developed, there will have to be sidewalks, because that's a requirement in our bylaws. So the path would take you right down to the edge of the village core, and then when there's a library or whatever it ends up there will have to be sidewalks.
That second piece will come later.
So, yeah, it's just we're just doing one segment of connectivity, and when we finally go to develop that property, there will be a clear linkage. There's already a goat path there. People use it to go back and forth. But the school parking lot is the tricky piece. And the school had looked at it when they did their, redid their parking lot, but at that time, they were afraid to lose parking spaces. So a little more investigation needs to be done to figure out how we could get a path through there that wouldn't necessarily make them lose parking spaces. It's the intent.
Is your full committee on board? Are they supportive of this?
The project itself, yes, but the dollar value is, right, we're probably both hung up on. I think applying for this and then cutting the project to what we can afford, I think is probably the smart thing to do. It'll get us into that lease agreement with V-Trans for the right of way, to do something in there right away. And then if we have to eliminate the parking lot, some of the parking lot to be able to, the cost of it, or.
Yeah, because they have a 50-foot right away, 25 feet from the center line.
60 and 85.
Oh, really? Oh.
I think it's 60, most of it, and then towards the south tower end, I think it goes to 85.
Why is there power needed for this? Is it for people to charge their cell phones?
That would be one
What, what reason would be there to be that power to it?
Electric bikes.
I would think lighting would probably be the only thing, and that's kind of where I was thinking with solar, stay out of the parking lot. Don't need to do another saw cut through that parking lot, that kind of.
Like, I can tell you, like personally, I love the idea of it, but $330,000 for a 14 by 40 pavilion is insane.
Absolutely.
Absolutely insane. And there's no free money.
No.
It's all our money. So I'd have a real tough time saying that, I don't know, that's just, my understanding is that $34,050 is our 15%. Is contingency, or is this something different? Where's our match on this project?
It's right
You
in the
don't, you
letter.
don't have a quote yet, so you
Oh,
don't have any.
So we really don't have a match yet.
No,
But it's what percentage?
It's 20%.
20% of the
It's an
job
estimated 72,000 if you do the whole project.
would be out of the Rex budget. I would think for $72,000 you could build a Taj Mahal over there without spending the other $250,000 to go with it. I would think. Unless I'm missing a bigger picture.
The high part now, I believe, is that easement through V-Trans.
So if you want to play ball, you got to go in with this and.
I don't know the answer to that question.
V-Trans must want this to happen too.
I would think,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This ain't-
They wouldn't be throwing this.
They're gonna need these
Little pit stops along the way.
stuff, yes. And like I say, our town is right close, so.
Well, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing. I just, when I see that kind of money, I mean,
I hear you.
it's just insane. I mean, it's like,
Has anybody seen the Beta Electric Aircraft Corporation? They take used cargo containers and they make them into buildings, tiny buildings, big buildings, living spaces. 14 by 40, I mean, it's the right length, it's not the right depth, but you can buy one for like $5,000, refurbish it and make it into anything you want, a lot cheaper than this. And it's a cargo container that will never go anywhere, won't burn down. They're pretty neat, actually. What they do with cargo containers.
People are building houses with them.
Non-insulated, just summer
yeah,
use.
you don't, need some ventilation and some moisture can't build. I don't know. Just my bid.
I would hope that the bids would come in way different.
right,
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
it's a hard thing to, how do you until you put it at the bid, you don't know.
Well, they got all the stimulus money, so everything's just jacked right through the roof. So everybody's just lining their pockets. That's what it's about.
Now Heidi, if we were awarded nothing saying we have to move forward,
Well, you don't, I mean, I wouldn't want to go through the process if you're not going to accept it, but if you get it, until you sign a contract, you're not committed. But there's plenty of other things to focus on if you're not interested in doing it. But I just wanted to note it that if we took the electrical out of there, and repaving, that's another 24,000. So, we can trim this a fair amount. Because they're cutting, installing electric and repaving.
Let's just say it's $25,000, so now we're at $305,000
Still a house.
if we cut the electric.
Still a house.
Still a house with a 2x4 garage.
Lighting? I don't know. Just my opinion, seems kind of important.
I agree, but you can go
Start at 4
to,
o'clock.
you go to Costco for $30 and get solar powered sensor lights. And they work great. Now, security, whatever, people stealing them, that's another issue, but I'm just saying. I do too, I think it's important to have lighting. I'm not worried about someone charging up their cell phone.
Me neither. My other
Personally.
thought was like if there was going to be use besides just rail trail use, someone's throwing a birthday party and maybe they want to plug a crock pot in.
Yeah,
I mean, electric could come in handy if we want more people to use it. But
So is air gonna be there?
I don't-
Is there gonna be air in it?
no, it's not enclosed.
No, I'm saying air to blow up your
For
bicycle tire.
Oh, no, we got that pump station.
Okay, so we don't need electricity, okay, that's,
so just to add on to Shelley's point, like that is also something the school could use as an outdoor classroom. There's a lot of different, you could put your band under it when you're having an outdoor concert.
the
Could be
power was there,
used a lot of different ways.
But I can show you a beautiful outdoor classroom that didn't cost that price.
I
You know,
agree
it's-
with you.
Yeah, not arguing the price,
You know,
saying electric might come in handy for a broader scope of usage.
but what I'm saying, electrical, but you can still build an outdoor classroom with electrical in it a lot cheaper than, I know it's a
Not
beautiful.
disagreeing.
Whatsoever, right, Shelley?
Nope.
Okay.
So, it is the decision of the select board to sign the letter if they're in support. So, this is due November 1st. So we would have to make a decision at this meeting and/or authorize the rec committee to make some adjustments. The only thing I could say is that if we don't go with this, we have to find the resources to work with V-Trans to get the permission to work in the right of way, to construct something in the right of way. We've always heard it's very costly and very difficult. So that was one of the benefits of doing that. So, Ty, what's your vision?
I'm
14,000.
downscaling. I think putting something there and downscaling it, this is a wish list, I think a need list probably is where we need to go with it. Or a want, not a wish, I guess.
Why does this have to be in the state right away?
It doesn't, if they want to move
Right.
it somewhere.
If they're on bicycles, they can pedal right through the parking lot and eventually find a spot in the rink lane to put this. I think it's a great idea. I just, well, so was that fun?
Do you see a problem with the state giving us the rights to do it, or?
If it's on ours.
It's on our lane.
Right, no, on theirs, the way it's planned
Right.
there.
No, they sounded like the three that we met for the site visit were all in support of it. But again, like you said, it's play ball or no. It's,
You're saying it has to be their way,
well, yeah. I think this is kind of,
You want to play ball, you gotta use their rules.
yeah.
So I'm gonna throw something out there. If you're concerned about the cost, you have money in your ARPA funds, and you could take $100,000 out of that, build whatever the heck you want, without that strings. If you used our own property or work in conjunction with the state and get the right of way privileges and what have you in a contract and go from there. Or 50,000 or whatever dollar figure you want. But I would agree with Heidi that if we're changing this or we're gonna do something different, then there's no sense of going forward with this at this point. That we would need to have another option, or we need to have another price.
Majority rules, right?
And we can have this reduced too. You can
Right.
submit, if you don't wanna do electric now, you wanna phase that in at a different time. It's gonna save you money. There's several things in there.
So if you vote on this, you're voting on this package right here.
Well, you could make a motion that
Right.
you would approve
What
it
I'm-
without.
What I'm saying is, you're still gonna be spending $200,000. Say it's $200,000.
Yeah,
Say you knocked off $130,000.
Still,
Still majority rules.
40,000 much at that point.
Yeah.
so what is this pavilion made of?
Kryptonite.
Good stuff.
Just
Superman's fuel station.
Pure gold, Sharon.
I mean, are we? Is the sandcastle or brick building or?
Pretty good.
I don't want to diss our engineer. These are just intended as estimates.
Right, but is it a wood building or concrete building or?
Probably post and beam, and cement floor, and a tin roof, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they want them all to basically look the same, like the beams and,
Are these gonna be standardized along the whole trail system
That's
in
what
the
it
state?
sounds
Is that what they're trying to do?
ideally, yes, that's what they're going for.
So how are even smaller towns gonna be able to afford something like this?
Well, I mean.
They'll be
I think
smaller.
they're thinking-
It'll be smaller proportionate to the town size.
They're timing it with ARPA funding so that if that's
Right.
what towns want to do,
There is nothing.
because
They just looking for that money.
nothing for pavilions.
Right.
I don't know of any yet.
I don't think it tables
Yeah,
what
there's
Enosburg
a
is.
couple of information booths.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of benches, some picnic tables, but I haven't seen a pavilion.
It'll be used in the winter too, and
Mhm.
I'm sure if it's roof, it's gonna be a, pit stop for the snowmobiles too, but
Sure.
That's true, yeah, that's very much true, and
it'll get used, it's.
the,
I would, I'd scale it down to a 10 by 10 building and a kiosk that's not covered. You know. Don't worry about the parking, don't. You know, picnic table and a couple of trash receptacles under cover, sit and they can park in what parking we currently have.
Better think of the future, where there's no gas, where you're riding bikes.
Personal rights.
It'll be all electrical.
I want a hay station for my horse.
it's another $30,000.
Yeah, right.
And 30,000 just for the study to get to A station.
Don't forget the water buckets.
Don't forget the archaeological dig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have to dig first before we put the A station up.
True. All right, in all seriousness, so you're proposing to chop it down, minus electricity, minus paving?
Just throwing out.
Does that sound reasonable, or do you still want to scrap the whole plan?
So you have a wish list for a concert stage on top of this, right? So as a different
Yeah.
wish list. So could you ever combine them and do two uses with one grant?
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you,
right away, you can't have a concert going on and a rail trail open at the same time. That, I mean, my thought, you can't,
Your stage would be 20 feet off the trail and the people would sit farther away from it than that.
on the schools if they went, you know.
Or towards the T-ball.
I can see that being
well, of course, the rail trail wasn't meant to have all them four-wheelers on it, so it shouldn't be quite so loud as it currently is.
you're better off do that on our own land.
Yeah.
I could see it,
Well, I'm just
maybe,
just thinking we're kind of running out of space.
right.
I mean, you can all, we have a great space and we're thankful for it for the McEwens, but if you use every square inch of it, I don't know if it's gonna be that useful anymore.
Correct.
You know, we've got one new building already. We got the baseball shed torn down now. So, I don't know. If we did 360,000, does the rec have 72,000 in their budget anywhere for an idea?
They've got their ARPA money.
And this is it on, that's the needs.
Right, because you wanted to do the front entrance, which really does need attention. Just the safety of it.
Absolutely.
And the roof could use repainting and attention, so we don't end up in a poor situation there. We want to do more work on the fields.
Well, on that note, they were just awarded the buildings, Department of Buildings and General Services rec grant. So they just received $18,000 with a required equal match to have their electrical upgraded in the lobby area and to do one of the fields. McEwen's field.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good news.
I think we hope that this is a annual grant and that we can, at this point, and we're wishing there was a magic pot of money, so.
Baby steps, baby steps. Okay, what's the board think? Vern?
I'm just looking at other options here, 10 by 10 sheds. Nice looking sheds that you could take the doors off to leave it open and put a porta light in there, $6,000. For 10 by 16 post and beam. Looks like a little red barn. Something like that. Nowhere near this ridiculous amount.
They want it on a concrete slab though.
We'll put it on a concrete slab.
Sticking with it.
Yeah.
Richard?
I'm not in favor of it.
Kyle?
If the project was cut down to maybe like a 10 by 20, I think a 10 by 10 would be too small if you're gonna do it. If you went to like a 10 by 20, that way you'd have room for a couple of tables under there. But the project as it sits, I'm not in favor of it.
And this is due November 1st. Okay.
So just to clarify, the grant application is based on these numbers?
Well, that's what we would submit if that's what you wanted to do. If you want to reduce it, we have to go back to the engineer and have him chop a few things out.
No.
So what you are saying though is, if we reduced it, or if we had this building built, we could probably get it done for a lot cheaper, but we probably won't get it done a lot cheaper because
Has to be the next one.
it has to be their specs. And so I just,
Yeah.
$330,000 for a 14 by 40 pavilion with power to it. I don't think you're gonna get enough use to be able to even close to justify that money that the match is. That's it. That's it.
I don't see the return on investment ever
No, there's no,
for that.
there's no.
Even when they're all electric bicycles, I just don't see it. But by that, it'll be $750,000.
So if they're trying to get other towns to do the same, this obviously isn't gonna be the only round of this grant funding. Right, didn't you say they wanted towns to?
This is the only one for this program. In the future, they suspect that there will be money in like bike and ped programs, things like that, but there's nothing set in stone yet. So, to be determined.
Okay, make a motion.
I make a motion, we don't accept this.
Okay, do I have a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm a nay.
Did you say something, Chris?
I said aye.
So 4 yeses and 1.
Okay.
Okay. Probably the best way to deal with this would be to have the rec committee come and meet with the select board so that everybody gets on the same page. Would be my suggestion. Just so I don't want the rec committee to believe that we're just
No.
crapping out on them.
No, because you stick it there and say,
Right.
all that, stick.
Yes.
It's absolutely insane.
Right.
You rent out the, you build a house, live in a house, for that dollar, right?
Right.
Well, you probably will have people living in there.
No, we definitely don't want.
You won't get that. You won't go there.
But perhaps we can figure out what it would take to get the right-of-way use from the state, what they would or would not accept there, how much room we have on our land, and then how much money is a reasonable amount of money to use. So that way, if we have a better understanding of what it is that we really want, what we can afford, and what the state will allow us to do, maybe that's a better fit for us all.
And nothing else, we built some dialogue with Jackie and Bill and I forget the other guy's name, but from P.E.G.
Not to complicate things, but do you want to try to just get your bike repair station and a kiosk there? You have a bike repair station.
Right.
You can't just put it in the right of way without their permission.
Right, yeah, that's where, I think that's where Sharon is looking at to see.
Duke.
Right, I think we should do something, absolutely.
Right.
Um,
Our dime, that's way cheaper than P.E.G.'s done.
okay. All right, so Heidi, if you can arrange sometime when we can have a meeting together, we'll see what we can do to go forward.
You're only meeting once a month now, right?
Yeah, I suspect we're going to have some specials for budgeting, but
Okay,
For you
so
guys,
does
that'll
that
be down to once a month.
sound reasonable to the board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Okay, one other question for rec. Franklin County Industrial Development awarded Highgate that beautiful iron bench. The rec department doesn't really have a vision for where it should go, so I suggested we see if the select board has some ideas. It's a beautiful wrought iron bench, with a plaque. And, ideally would be in a spot where people would see it.
Do we have enough space on the front of the building?
I was thinking the same thing, under her window-ish out front.
Right?
Here? Would be right at the end of the ramp. I thought you meant the arena.
Oh, no, here.
I don't know, maybe. Would be there enough?
the other option is to, I don't know, pick Butch's brain, but those 3 benches that are on the little space in between the gun shop and the vet, we move those 3 and put that one nice heavy one there. How much, I'm not in town during the day anymore, but how much use do you see on that bench? Not very much of those benches over there.
People from the vet sometimes, if they,
Is it?
you know,
And another nice place would be right across from the library in that little park, right in the middle. And just. So when people is driving in, they will see the bench there.
Or on the ends of this building, either on the fire department side or the side where your wife fixed it up nicely. You know, because that would give you some shade in, you know, to sit if you were had stopped to look at the park or whatever.
Is there any benches found in Memorial anymore, or is there still benches on the side, or is that all gone? I can't.
There's no
There
benches,
are
is there?
benches.
No, there's no benches, no.
Yeah, that might be the spot to put it.
That would be a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right in the middle.
You could have a place of honor.
There may be,
Okay, curious.
There, I've seen
yeah,
the
the
little
kids were
next
playing the
door
other day and they say that.
Two
There
on the
is
side,
benches
but there
there.
isn't one at the front of the pavilion, looking directly at it. So we got two buildings and so.
Dressing, I don't take picture.
I know.
Okay. So, to be determined. We'll look and see what's back over at the monument now and find a treasured spot for it.
Where is it now?
Sitting in the garage into everything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You would have lost something that said them already cemented because it's probably very important.
Okay, let's move this along here. Shelley.
My turn.
Yes.
Okay. If you wanna start with the salt contract, so I don't forget about it. Fresh on my brain.
Okay,
That
so
came this week and, there's a shortage, right, Butch? So we wanna make sure we get that signed as soon as possible and back and secure our spot.
okay, so Cargill is offering salt at $91 a ton delivered. And we estimate 550 ton. Is that accurate? Okay.
The tonnage didn't change from last year, right?
Mhm.
I don't think so, yeah, same tonnage, just the price.
How different was the price?
I'd have to look it up, and I can do that, I can go see after we're done, but I don't think it was that much different, do you recall?
76 or 78, is that?
Yeah, I was thinking around 80.
80.
So-
Well, just the
That's
difference in the price of fuel covers.
Right,
I know.
that's it.
It just, it's unfortunate but realistic.
You don't really have much for options. do you?
No, you don't.
Okay, board,
Beet juice.
It's $50,050. I don't know what it was last year.
And if you're a new customer anywhere else, you're not getting salt from them.
Sounds like a good deal.
I make a motion that we sign the contract.
okay, do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. That was easy.
Yep. Next.
Like,
We just spent
that's
that
not
quick.
even shot, you can't even shop for it, it's like, if
We
you're
wrestled
not
for
a
45 minutes
customer,
about the other, but
you're
yeah.
not getting it. But your
Okay,
sheds are full, so you're in
Yeah.
good position to start the winter, so that's all that matters for our residents. Moving on, the check warrant's right in front of you.
okay, everybody had a chance to look at the check warrant?
Yes.
I have a motion to sign.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
As you're signing, I'll keep talking. I'll start with delinquent taxes. We are still moving forward with tax sale. A few properties have come off, but I do still have 15 properties from 2021 on my list. We're down to $31,837.91. And honest to God, there is so much free money out there. If you need help, please call me so I can get you the information.
They are assisting left and right. So I'm hoping to clear that up, but we shall see. On to 2022. We have collected $5,828,496.32 as of today.
Yay, we can pay off the school.
Exactly. It's gonna be a very busy next week because I still have $1,688,716.93 to go. Our average delinquent taxes the day after, like the beginning balance of the new year, it hovers around 200,000. So it's still a lot of collecting that needs to happen between now and next Thursday. So I will be earning my beer.
You always do.
And it has been changed this year to Thursday and Saturday.
Thursday, yep, and we're not open to the public on Fridays. Thursday, the 27th at 4 p.m. is when taxes are due. At that point, I do lock the drop box and put a note that they are late so I can get the deposit done and penalties processed. So,
I had a couple people from Highgate did not realize that the town clerk was, they thought it was closed, and I said, no, they're open, they're closed on Friday.
yep, there's many people using the drop box, even when
Because
they're
I
here.
told a lot of people they didn't realize, they thought you guys were still closed, and I said, no. I'm there every week, I know.
Do they read anything we mail them? Anything?
No,
No, they don't.
Those big neon stickers that we send?
They don't read it one day.
So, yes, busy collecting, but it's been good. Most people have been thrilled. Their taxes went down this year, the rate anyway. There hasn't been a whole lot of gruff, so everyone's been fairly pleasant. Which is always good when taking somebody's money. So
Yes.
we will swiftly cut a check to the school as soon as we're all done here and call it done for the year. That is all I've got for you.
Okay. Any questions for Shelby?
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Wendy.
Okay. You have one set of minutes from October 6th.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
I have a motion to sign.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We've also been extremely busy with ballots. We had the first round of pre-processing last Friday. So the building was open and we had a Zoom link. Nobody joined in, but the option is there. John Ferland and Claude Chevalier were here with Shelley and I, and we processed 328. The next round will be on the 28th of October. Again, open to the public, Zoom link available. We'll have John Ferland and Dennis Nolan here with us. And then we'll do it one more time on November 4th with Clarence and John. And then everything else will be processed at the polls on November 8th. Shelley and I will be there from 7 to 7. Actually more like 6 to 9, but polls are open 7 to 7. At the arena. And the JPs will be coming in after hours to help with write-ins, reporting to the state and all the other good stuff that we do. So if you want to vote at the polls, please bring the ballot that was mailed to you. That is your ballot. You can be issued a new ballot, but you'll be asked to sign an affidavit. So we had 2 groups of MVU kiddos come through the building this week, so I wanted to thank Public Works, the library, and the fire department. They made stops in all the departments, and we had 2 groups come through, one very talkative group and one very quiet group. So that was fun. We're gonna be doing that every semester with Jason Barney's student government kids. And let's see, safety zone posters, everybody's been asking for them. Josh Hungerford, who is our local game warden brought us a good stack of them, so people are welcome to come pick up whatever they need. They're right in the entryway, they are free. This time of year, they are a hot commodity, and apparently other town offices don't have them, so you can come to Highgate and get yours, you don't need to live here.
Okay.
I think,
And just for clarification, the people that Wendy mentioned that come and help count the votes, those are justices of the peace that are elected by the townspeople.
that's right.
So, and they are allowed to do that job by law, just as Shelley and Wendy are allowed to do that by law. So, as she said, those meetings are open. You are welcome to come and observe if you have any concerns about whether or not there is tampering with the ballots.
Yes. And just, the fall is super busy, there's a lot of events going on around town. There's a craft show at MVU this weekend, October 22nd from 9 to 3. These are the pre-processing dates. These are what the safety zone posters look like. They're much bigger, but this is what they look like. I did post some hours for the week of the election. Our office hours are gonna be a little wonky. We're closing at noon on Monday the 7th to prepare for the election and set up at the arena as best we can. Tuesday, this office is not open. We are at the arena. We are not licensing dogs. We are not taking tax money. We are working at the election. The drop box will be closed the day of the election, and all ballots need to be brought directly to the arena. We're opening at 10 on Wednesday, November 9th. Just a little extra time in the morning to get going after a very long day. Public skating has started at the arena on Sundays, 2:30 to 4:15. How did that go first couple rounds?
I think she said we had, I think, 40 the first time, and I don't remember what was this current week.
Good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, Haunted, Highgate, and Trunk or Treat at the arena, October 31st, 5:30 to 7:30. That's a completely free event, correct?
Yeah, they're doing a food drive at it though.
Nice, okay.
Donation.
So bring like a
Donation food
canned,
drive, yeah.
non-perishable food item?
Yeah,
Okay. And then the library is hosting the craft fair at Highgate Elementary this year on Saturday, November 19th from 9 to 3. So lots of good fun stuff going on in town. That's it for me.
Okay, any questions for Wendy? All right.
Thank you.
on the trunk or treat, it sounds like numbers are low right now for trunks, so
I'm coming.
we are looking for people to come decorate and hand out candy. Last year's event was a great turnout, so we're hoping to do just as good this year.
Is Luke coming this year too?
You say somebody, one of us will be there.
I'm telling you, his Wolfman costume was just awesome. Okay. Heidi.
Hi. I will start with an amendment for our NRPC contract. So we have a Better Roads grant to upgrade our road erosion inventory, and we contracted that to Regional Planning Commission. And they are finishing it up, but the last contract has expired. So that's an amendment just to allow them to finish it up by the end of the year, which is our grant deadline.
Okay, any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
If you have any questions on my report, I'm happy to answer stuff, but otherwise I would just note that the library is hoping to build a new library on the Village Core property, and they are beginning a capital campaign to start getting their funds together to do that. And one of the first steps is that we are looking at a few different consultants to help them with a capital budget. And they are having a first speaker at their November 2nd meeting at 6:30. So anybody who is interested in helping the library start their capital campaign for a new library, you should stop by and hear what the consultant has to say. And if you participate in a meeting over there, you will understand why they want a new library, because it's a very cozy space. And they also want people to help with that campaign. So if anybody has time and loves their library, please get in touch with the library, or you can call the office and I'll be happy to connect you.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that the select board can talk about, Brewer Road, but also I wanted to bring up the issue of the pipe out behind the building. I think we are still not making progress on that, and it's starting to get really cold. So I don't know if you have any more input or any more update from.
I heard nothing.
Okay, and I sent him a note and said, please have something by this meeting, and I did not get a response.
He came and looked at it, right?
Yeah. Did you get the estimate?
Nope.
No, he's terrible about that.
No,
Okay.
so,
Alright, we'll have to track him down and see if it's a yes or no and get a commitment. Because that needs to be fixed prior to a hard frost.
We're prepared this time.
Sure.
We're flood-proof. For the first time ever.
Yeah.
Oh, no, asshole.
But we don't need to flood it just to try it.
No.
Okay. Anything else for?
no, other than the Brewer Road, you asked me to put that back on.
Okay. So let's start with a letter to thank the Brousseaus for their lovely pumpkin donation. Can I have a motion to sign?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So the Brewer Road is looking for a gate at US Customs, or at,
Which knows a little bit more about it.
right.
It's just a little side road off the roll road. That would, the traffic now. Ern probably knows more about the traffic when, illegal traffic across the border. That,
Vern don't know a thing about it.
Don't know a thing about that stuff.
if you're gonna put a gate, I mean, there's gotta be a reason for doing it, or?
Well, I would think that, so we've had a request from a landowner that's asking for, for a gate. And there's some question about whether or not he's willing to put the gate up himself, or whether he wants us to do it. Is that the understanding? Did he talk about putting his own gate up?
I didn't have the conversation, Butch did, but from your last discussion, you were concerned about doing something on one road that you didn't do.
I don't have any problem putting a gate up, but like I said before, everybody has to be treated the same. And I honestly like the Swanton sector chief to come and talk about gates and road crossings and the increase in illegal traffic, because it affects our townspeople. And we're a border town, and I would hope that if we were to invite customs, they would come and speak with us and cover topics like this so that we have some directions, because we're a town and they're federal, and we don't want to go against the federal government, but we also want some clarifications. So I am suggesting that we reach out to customs and ask them if they would be so kind as to come to a meeting and give us an update of what's happening at the border, and maybe what people can do to help their border patrol agents, and what do you do if you see an illegal crossing, just to help us out as a border town of what's the right thing to do.
That's a great idea. Then we'll know what we can do with the gates, who's gonna pay for them.
Right. That would be my suggestion. So, Heidi, if you can find out if they would be so kind as to respond, we'd be delighted to have them. And then people can come to the meeting and ask questions and find out the facts. Okay, and speaking of facts, so there is a rumor going around town that we are a sanctuary town. I'm not sure how that got started, and I'm not sure why it came up, but no, the select board has not had any conversation about becoming a sanctuary town. We've never been asked, and we have never had a conversation like that. So to answer any rumors, no, Highgate is not a sanctuary town at this point. If you have an opinion on that, you are certainly welcome to come to the office or come to a meeting. They're always open and available to the public. And your select board members are also always available to the public. The other thing that is going around the rumor mill is that the town is selling the Macy property for $250,000, but we paid $350,000. So let's go back to the fact thing. The town did purchase the Macy property, which is now called the Village Core Master Plan property, for $250,000 at a town meeting vote. We have not decided to sell the property at this point, but there is a lovely group of people that are investigating our options with that, as well as sewer and water and commercial development. So please, by all means, if you really want some facts, you are welcome to join those meetings. Any other rumor mills that we can just put to rest so some of these folks can relax? Okay. So that was the last two.
Sharon, I just want to make sure to let Butch know I will be doing the wood chip in front of my house for the town when they come in, because I know a couple times last year they got stuck, and without the wood chip they would have been stuck. So I'm planning on doing it again this year, Butch, for you, and because it's a little dip, and when it's icy there, they have a hard time. So as long as they allow me and they pick it up in the spring, and I help them and they help me in the spring to clean it up. So.
Okay. So
And I do have permission. I just want to let people know. I do have permission. I figured you get a laugh out of Kyle.
So the other thing is please be kind to our employees. They are working hard and doing the best they can for you, whether they're elected or volunteers. So during elections and tax time, take it easy on Shelley and Wendy. During winter plowing season, take it easy on Butch and Luke and Nick. Give them a break. They're working for you. Heidi's got several committees.
Be nice to me all year long, please.
Yeah. So just have a little respect. They're doing the best they can. So, I would suggest that we make a motion to end the regularly scheduled select board meeting and enter into executive with Heidi Rich Valenta. Oh, sorry,
I
pardon
got
me.
one public service announcement.
Absolutely.
Going back to voting, folks. Looked into this, there's been a lot more discussion around the state about people getting extra ballots since I brought it up 2 weeks ago. Believe it or not, the Secretary of State does not have any way to report your extra ballots. The only people that are doing it is the Vermont GOP. They would like you to report your extra ballots so they can send them to the Secretary of State. On this website, it's www.vtgop.org/ballots. So if you got an extra ballot, please go to that website and let them know, so they can tell Mr. Condos what's going on. Thank you. That's all I got.
So just so you know, Vern started a trend. It's been on the news and everything.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. AM talk shows, Vern's been on.
Your face is getting red, Vern.
All right, please start.
Missed that down on dates.
Okay, so motion to exit regular select board meeting, going into executive with Heidi and Butch Russo. Ty, do you need us?
So moved.
Okay. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much.